This video is sponsored by DB Bulldogs. Don't forget to follow on social media on TikTok and Instagram and keep up with their story today. This news comes from London and it's an update from Twickenham. The story originally broke several days ago when police were called at 3 minutes to 10 in the morning on Friday the 18th of November to reports of a stabbing on Queen's Road in Twickenham. Officers attended with the London Ambulance Service and a male was found with stab wounds and taken to hospital, where his condition was assessed as life-threatening. 2 men were arrested on suspicion of GBH and one of them was taken to hospital with a back injury and the other one was taken to the police station. Thank you to Dave Nathan for his coverage from the scene that shows the police cordon in place and also forensics entering the building to try to gather evidence. There was also evidence in the street that shows that the paramedics must have tried to tend to somebody in the street and emergency first aid took place. The latest update in relation to this story is that 2 people have been charged following the stabbing. Oliver Huegdon, 39 years old, from Teddington was charged with attempted murder, and Neeraj Sharma, 40 years old, from Twickenham, was charged with perverting the course of justice. They both appeared at Wimbledon Magistrates Court on the 21st of November, and they have been remanded in custody, pending the trial. So thankfully nobody lost their life in that story, and in some other news coming from Arlington, a man has been convicted of manslaughter after accidentally discharging a firearm that killed one of his associates. The jury at Arlington Crown Court heard that 28-year-old Mohammed Huegdon was shot and killed in the early hours of Sunday the 31st of October 2021. He was sat in the passenger seat of the car parked outside a flat on the High Street in Arlington. His body was then driven and dumped by the side of the road and it was discovered by a taxi driver. The detective in charge of the case, Lucy Carberry, said Mohammed was shot and killed by his associate Neeraj, who was armed with a submachine gun. It's accepted that Neeraj accidentally discharged it as both men were sat in the car. They don't know what they were doing in the car, but they believe that they may have been going to commit a shooting themselves. But the accidental firing set off a chain of events that would lead down a completely different path. They ended up dumping their friend's body in the car, and the car was set alight to try to cover up the tracks. During the investigation, the police revealed that Neeraj and another man called Mohammed Shakil had been selling drugs from a nearby flat. They were involved in an altercation with 2 other people, where they revealed an imitation firearm. Throughout the next few hours after this incident, they tried to possess the submachine gun. And it was at 4:45 in the morning when he left the flat and joined Mohammed in the vehicle, and they got possession of a submachine gun. They said it was almost straight away that Neeraj must have discharged the firearm and shot Mohammed, who was sitting directly in front of him. He then dropped the silencer when he got out of the car, and the gun fired several more times. They also used a 17-year-old to help get rid of the car, and he was recorded on CCTV going to a petrol station in West Drayton to get the fuel to burn the car. Officers received information linking the shooting to the car park area in Arlington, and they attended and recovered the bullet cartridges at the scene. The silencer was located at a nearby flat that was also involved. They also connected them through their mobile phone contacts. Neeraj from Harrow was found guilty of manslaughter and possession of an imitation firearm, and he pled guilty to 2 counts of possession of a prohibited weapon and perverting the course of justice. Mohammed Shakil from Barking was found guilty of perverting the course of justice and pled guilty to possession of an imitation firearm. The 17-year-old also pled guilty to the same charges. All 3 will be sentenced next year at Arlington Crown Court. So this story is definitely a big reminder of the dangers of firearms, and I really look forward to what people have to say on this story. Please don't forget to follow online as well at Scarcity Studios on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter and Facebook, and I'll be back again very shortly.